Environmental change and human dependence on oceans.
Change is good.
The first half of this lesson will cover environmental changes, short and long term changes, those that are natural and some that are man made. Short term changes are changes that occur quickly in an ecosystem and affect organisms immediately. They do not give organisms time to adapt to changes, force populations to move, or possibly risk death. Examples of short term changes include drought, flood, and volcanic eruption. Long term changes occur slowly over time and affect organisms over several generations. These are gradual changes that allow organisms time to adapt. The organisms become better adapted to survive in their environment. This is evident in things like the beaks of the Galapagos finches and the necks of giraffes in Asia and Africa. Examples of long term changes include climate change, pollution, and deforestation, which is the cutting down of a massive number of trees. So, how do long term changes affect organisms? Climate change can cause a change in migration patterns, nesting, and hibernation of many different species. Pollution, chemicals, pesticides, and fertilizers can poison air, soil, and water over time. And deforestation contributes to habitat destruction for a large number of species. If deforestation is massive enough, it can also affect the quality of air in an area. So to summarize, some characteristics of short-term environmental changes include quick changes. It's going to be very short. Affect organisms immediately, giving them no time to adapt, and they're forced to move or possibly die. Long term changes are slow. They affect organisms over many generations. Organisms are given time to adapt and become better adapted to the environment. Both cause changes in their ecosystems, can lead to changes in variation in a species, and can cause death to certain populations on a small or large scale. So now, knowing what you know about short and long term environmental change, I want you to think about this question: do all environmental changes occur naturally? Human dependence and impact on ocean systems. Dependence on ocean systems. Oceans cover 70% of Earth's surface. Oceans contain 97% of Earth's water. Humans depend on Earth's oceans on a daily basis. Earth's oceans provide food, water, transportation, climate regulation, and recreation. The ocean provides fish and shellfish to large populations around the world. The primary food sources for many coastal cities come from the oceans. Oceans indirectly provide terrestrial life with fresh water through the water cycle. As water evaporates from the ocean, the salt is left behind. The water vapor accumulates in clouds and is brought back to Earth as precipitation, salt free precipitation. Oceans provide an efficient way to transport goods on ships. Larger items and quantities are able to be transported. Ocean currents circulate warmer water from the equator to Arctic regions and cooler water from the Arctic regions to the equator. Currents help to moderate temperature extremes. People use oceans for boating, fishing, diving, and surfing. Oceans provide many important jobs for residents of coastal cities. Human activities, however, can have a positive or negative impact on Earth's oceans. These activities can have a severe impact on existing marine ecosystems. Entire food chains and food webs can be altered by human activity. One positive impact of humans on the ocean is that humans create artificial reefs by sinking old ships, train cars, and other non toxic structures. These reefs help to support large fish populations and to create new food webs. Artificial reefs support life much like naturally occurring coral reefs. However, the negative impact of humans on the ocean is extensive. Overfishing is when populations of fish and shellfish are dropping quickly because they are being removed from the oceans faster than they are able to reproduce. This leaves a void in that ocean food web. Runoff and pollution brings toxic chemicals, fertilizers, and pesticides, as well as garbage, into rivers that lead into our oceans. These toxic chemicals can kill fish or make them potentially dangerous for human consumption. Habitat destruction is another negative impact of human interference in ocean systems. Many wetlands and other habitats have been destroyed by human development and pollution. Some questions to think about. One, how could a large ship have a negative impact on the ocean? How would a large oil spill in the ocean affect humans? Why do you think so many large cities are located along the coast? Why is the water cycle so important to life on Earth? And finally, besides artificial reefs, what other ways could humans have a positive impact on our oceans?